What if your greatest struggle was not with your enemies, not with your family, but with God Himself? And what if that struggle is the very thing that changes your name? This is the story of Jacob, the deceiver who became Israel. Grasping from the beginning, Jacob enters the world gripping his twin brother Esau's heel. It is symbolic. His name means heel grabber or supplanter, one who takes by cunning. And that is exactly how his early life unfolds. He bargains Esau out of his birthright for a bowl of stew. Later, with his mother Rebekah's help, he deceives his blind father Isaac and steals the blessing. He wants what God promised, but he tries to secure it his own way. And deception has consequences. Esau burns with anger. Jacob runs for his life. The blessing is his, but peace is gone. A dream in the wilderness. Alone, fleeing into the night, Jacob sleeps with a stone for a pillow. And God meets him there. He dreams of a ladder reaching from earth to heaven, angels ascending and descending. Above it stands the Lord. And God repeats the covenant promise given to Abraham and Isaac. Land. Descendants. Blessing. This is astonishing. Jacob is running because of deception. Yet God speaks promise, not rejection. I am with you, God says. The grace of God meets him in exile. Jacob wakes and says, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it." That realization marks the beginning of transformation. The deceiver deceived. Jacob travels to his uncle Laban. And here, the deceiver meets someone just as crafty. He falls in love with Rachel and agrees to work 7 years to marry her. On the wedding night, Laban switches daughters. Jacob wakes up married to Leah. The trickster is tricked. He works another 7 years for Rachel. Then more years tending flocks. Jacob begins to experience what it feels like to be on the receiving end of manipulation. It shapes him. He grows in wealth, in family, in endurance. But tension remains. Eventually, God calls him back home. Back to the land. Back to Esau. Back to unresolved fear. The night of wrestling. On his journey home, Jacob hears that Esau is coming with 400 men. Panic rises. He divides his camp. He prays. He prepares for the worst. And then, in the middle of the night, alone again, someone meets him. A mysterious man wrestles with him until daybreak. It is not a quick struggle. It is hours long. Intense. Personal. Jacob refuses to let go. "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The stranger touches his hip and dislocates it. Jacob is wounded. Then comes the turning point. "What is your name?" "Jacob." The deceiver. The heel grabber. "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." Israel means one who wrestles with God. Jacob limps away from that encounter. Blessed. Wounded. Renamed. A father of nations. Jacob returns and meets Esau. Instead of violence, there is embrace. Tears. Reconciliation. The man who once manipulated now bows 7 times in humility. His life continues with complexity. He becomes the father of 12 sons, who will become the 12 tribes of Israel. From him will come a nation. But even as Israel, he remains human. He shows favoritism toward Joseph. He experiences betrayal when Joseph is sold into slavery. He believes his son dead for years. His story is not polished. It is real. What Jacob represents. Jacob represents transformation through struggle. He reminds us that being chosen does not mean being flawless. God's promises are not canceled by our mistakes. Wrestling with God is not rejection. It is relationship. Jacob does not receive a new name because he was perfect. He receives it because he refused to let go. He clung to God in the dark. He demanded blessing. And he walked away changed. Closing reflection. Jacob began life grasping at his brother's heel. He ended it leaning on a staff, blessing his sons. He started as a deceiver. He became Israel. His life teaches us that identity is not frozen in our worst moments. You may begin as Jacob. Impulsive. Flawed. Running from consequences. But if you wrestle with God, if you cling instead of quit, if you refuse to walk away from the struggle, you can leave with a new name. Jacob limped for the rest of his life. A reminder that encounters with God leave a mark. But it was a blessed limp. And sometimes, the greatest transformation does not happen when we win easily, but when we wrestle honestly and refuse to let go.